Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and this is my lecture series on Pokemon biology. Joining me here today, as always, is my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Say hello to everybody, Mr. Curtis. No, Jesus, no. No, your human voice, your human voice.
That's bat speak for, thank you, Professor. I'm so happy to be here and be part of the class.
Well, it's not, because if it was bat speak, we wouldn't be able to hear it at all. Because it's the term ultrasonic.
There's a whole other, look, and I had to bring it down a couple registers for you. But there's,
okay. Frequencies?
Mr. Curtis, I don't think your speaking is what's bad. I think it's more of your writing and spelling.
Well, and that person who can't hear anything is our trainer in training, Corbin. Say hello to everybody, Corbin.
Caw-caw.
Is that your bat impression?
Yeah. Is that what I mean, I don't know. I'm a kid. Is that what bats sound like? Since we're all doing our caws for the Pokemon, or the cries for the Pokemon now, apparently, according to Mr. Curtis. I am just following his lead. No. Is that what a bat sounds like?
No, it's not.
No. What I did was the sub-ultrasonic sounds that a Zubat or a Golbat would transmit. Okay, that's what I was doing.
All right. I'm gonna do my impression of a bat. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's hear it.
Do you see that?
Wow.
Because you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
Because it's ultrasonic. You can't hear them. It's to register way too high.
Wow.
For humans to hear.
Wow.
That's a talent. You should go on Kanto's Got Talent. That was really impressive.
Yeah, the sad thing about that show is that Kanto really does not have talent.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It's really sad. Like, people, they try to unicycle, but then they fall on their face.
Yeah.
The jugglers are okay.
Well, they're trying to start one that's a parody version called Kanto Doesn't Have Any Talent Whatsoever, and I think the host is going to be Ash Ketchum, because he can't win a Pokemon League to save his life.
Yeah, if there's somebody who knows no talent, it's Ash Ketchum.
It's Ash Ketchum, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, but let's go ahead and get started on the lesson. You may be wondering, students at home, why we are talking so much about bats and we're imitating them. That's because today we are learning about Zubat. I was gonna let them guess, but I think they already know because we're imitating.
Zoo it up.
Well, yes, Zubat, which is of course the bat Pokemon. Now, I can't believe, there's no way that you guys haven't seen a Zubat. Like, you walk into a dark forest at night or into a cave and you're swarmed by the darn things.
I mean, I've been camping once or twice with a couple friends, and I think I've seen a few share of my Zubats. I've seen a few share, here and there.
Okay, but have you ever really taken a look at them? Have you ever really looked at a Zubat?
Just the desiccated corpses that I find in the Ariados webs outside my house.
Well, I mean, they're gonna fly into them. They're gonna have to prepare it to be sucked dry.
That's right.
On my camping trip, one of my friends, quote friends, grabbed one of the Zubats and stuck it in my face, and that was a good close look. But it was also kind of dark, and it scratched me a lot. So
yeah, well, I mean, did you get did you go to the doctor? Because these things are very poisonous.
I mean, not really. I decided not to because my mom was like, you know what, honey, let's just not. Let's save a buck. So, I mean, everything's been fine. I just haven't been able to see out of my left eye for 3 years, but that's okay.
You've grown accustomed to it at this point.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like I'm a pirate, but you can't tell.
This is why Kanto needs universal health care. It's about time, I think.
All right. Hey, we're not in this class to hear about your political statements, Professor. We're here to learn about Pokemans.
Well, Corbin, hey.
What?
Professor is the professor, okay?
That's
if he
true.
wants to talk about
professor.
if he wants to spend a lesson talking about his political business, then gosh darn it, you will sit in that chair and you will take notes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's fair. All right.
I mean,
I
am running.
I will have you in the hallway picking up Machoke droppings with toothpicks.
Oh, no, not again. Please.
Wait. Is he picking them up with toothpicks, or do the Machoke droppings have toothpicks in them?
Both.
Oh no!
Oh.
Who's been feeding the Machoke's toothpicks again?
Oh, did they get into the office closet again?
They got into my my supply closet.
Yeah.
They needed to. They were obviously looking for some roughage. I mean, you can only eat so much protein powder without some kind of.
I'm not gonna
fibrous-
lie. Eating toothpicks for roughage in your diet, it's pretty metal. I'm not gonna lie.
Very metal, yeah. Man, guys, I can't wait to talk about the Machop, Machoke, and Machamp line. It's gonna be so much fun.
But we're gonna have to wait because we're talking about somebody else today.
Yeah. Yes, we're talking about Zubat, and I asked if anybody had really taken a look at them. Kind of hoping to segue into showing you guys the Zubat that I caught. But if you don't want to do that, you just want to skip over that, I guess I can just go ahead and start. Maybe I'll just skip right to the pop quiz. Since nobody wants to be a team player, and
That's fine. Whatever gets us out early. I'd be fine with that.
no, of course, Professor. Please, I want to hear every moment.
I guess, Corbin, you'll do about the same on the quiz, whether or not you've heard all the information on Zubat.
All
or
right,
not.
just bring it out, okay? Just bring it
All
out.
right, here's the Zubat.
Whoa, he's a quick booger. I'll tell him
Yeah.
that. He's quick. He's a
Look
quick
at him
one.
go. Here, Corbin, if you will, go ahead and hold your arm out real quick. And Mr. Curtis, can you please turn off the lights?
What?
Yep.
Why?
Sure.
Whoa, hold on. Are you trying to assault one of your students? Because that's not
of
going
course
to work.
not.
If the
Are you holding out your arm? Are you holding out your
purposefully
arm?
want the Zubat to attack me.
right.
All right, my arm is out.
Okay, lights are off.
Doesn't matter which arm.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Shh. Be quiet. See, Zubat is gonna think that you're like a tree branch or a stalactite, and it's gonna come and try to hang off of you.
Okay. I feel it. It's like kind of cold, actually.
Yeah. So,
Feels weird. I don't like
how is it hanging? How is it hanging there? Can you get a good look at it?
It's hanging upside down.
Well, yes, of course, but is it using its tiny little needle-like things?
I mean, it looks like that. I can't really tell.
It is hard to tell.
It's dark, dude. I can't see anything. I just feel it. Ugh.
Okay, Mr. Curtis, turn the lights back on.
Oh,
And there it
hi.
goes, and it's flying around again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah. So do we want to? So okay, give me what's your first impression of the Zubat? What do you see here?
Flashbacks.
Okay, but beyond that, beyond the time you had a Zubat thrown in your face.
Oh,
Small blue fluttering annoyances.
I mean, that's 100% correct. They are small and blue with a little bit of purple, and they are extremely annoying.
I don't understand what those two long needles are coming out of its butt. Is it like?
I think
does
they're its feet. I think that's how it hangs on things.
I don't know. It was dark. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you.
They can't. There's no way they're antenna.
They're
right?
not antenna. No, that doesn't seem right. I don't know what they are. Maybe the Pokedex entries will tell us, but
Well,
one thing that really bothers me, that creeps me out about these guys, is that they don't have any eyes.
that is true. Very, very good observation.
Unless those
Observation
big
there, Corbin.
flappy things with purple inside them are eyes.
No, those are its ears, and it's very important that it has those ears because it doesn't have eyes. Now, question: have you heard this Zubat make any noises?
He's been quiet the whole time. He's still fluttering around.
You see, actually, he's been making noise this entire time.
It's like nails on a chalkboard, if I'm being
You
honest.
cannot hear it, Mr. Curtis.
BS.
Oh.
Can't hear it.
It's very uncomfortable.
What's uncomfortable about it, huh?
Yeah.
That's right. It's just it's like
What's it sound like?
It's like I told you, like nails on a chalkboard.
Like what?
It's a screech.
What does that sound like? I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
If you'd like me to repeat, I'll go for you again.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
But like way higher.
Sounds like my grandma.
Maybe your grandma's a Zubat.
mean,
All right,
maybe.
let's go ahead and put Zubat back into the Pokeball.
How are you going to aim the Pokeball? It's flying around constantly. How are you going to catch that thing?
You really kind of just throw Pokeballs into the air, and then they suck in the Pokemon.
All right.
You've seen it.
Well,
You've seen
bye-bye,
how it
Zubat. Get sucked.
works. Okay, here we go. All right, it is time to get into the meat, the meat and beans of the lesson.
The meat and potatoes, if you will.
I love the protein of this lesson.
The potatoes and the tomatoes of this lesson. Let's look at all the Pokedex entries and let's learn a thing or two about Zubat. All right, starting off in Kanto. Forms colonies in perpetually dark places.
What does?
Zubat does. It does.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I mean, again, we're in Kanto. We don't use any kind of, identifying noun or pronoun or anything. So we have no idea what it is. Right. Uses ultrasonic waves to identify and approach targets.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, the next one says, emits ultrasonic cries while it flies. Hey, it rhymes. I like that.
Ooh, poetry in the Pokedex entries. I like it.
Thanks, Professor Oak. They act as a sonar used to check for objects in its way.
Yeah?
When it says they, I think it's talking about the ultrasonic cries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not
probably.
the Zubat itself.
I don't know. I mean, what are Zubat's pronouns? I don't know.
It's
that thing.
That's
thing,
monster,
thing
horrible.
is what.
Like
right.
you walk into a cave, you're gonna get swarmed by these things. And not only are they poisonous, but like if they want to, they can like confuse you with their like ultrasonic cry if they want, and like confuses you. It confuses all your Pokemon, and that's gonna be your day.
It confuses you and it cries constantly. It's like a flying tiny blue baby. You just don't know what it wants, and it's just flying around crying.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I really thought you were gonna say a tiny blue flying Mr. Curtis.
No, Mr. Curtis is not tiny, but he is annoying.
Well, that's why I said tiny.
Oh, yeah. True.
I'm gonna read the next entry.
Go ahead. You do that.
Thank you. It has neither eyes nor a nose. I love it whenever a Pokedex entry says nor. It has neither eyes nor nose. It emits ultrasonic cries that bounce back to its large ears, enabling it to fly safely.
That's a real shame. Imagine not being able to smell pie. That sucks.
Smell pie. I mean, it would be a godsend to not have to smell Curtis all the time.
That's true. That's the appeal. But I mean, that Zubat will never know the joy of a freshly bathed shroomish smell.
Yeah, and they'll never know the dankest of shroomish smells.
The dankest Gary smells,
The dankest Gary.
Because just as a reminder for other students, Gary the Shroomish is our gardener here at the school, and he is, whoo! Get a good sniff of him on the way to class. You are going to be seeing things on the wall all day.
Yeah, you better pack your bags because you are going on a trip.
Yeah, you better pack your bags because you're going on an adventure. Did I do it right?
Yeah, very good job.
Good.
Cool, thanks.
Hey, all right. So yeah, it can't see, can't smell, which is kind of sad because like smell is a large portion of taste too. Like,
right.
Like when we taste things, like part of that sensation is the smell that it gives us.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. So honestly, being a Zubat is a sad existence, if you ask me.
That's why they're so annoying. They just want people to notice them. That's really sad. That's really sad when you think about it like that. They just want people to notice them. That's what's sad about Zubat. There's so many of them, and they swarm you because they want to be noticed, and they're constantly crying, but nobody can hear them. Bring that Zubat back out. I just want to hug it now. I don't know if I can continue with this lesson. I gotta go home. This is sad.
No, sit down.
Okay,
Stop with this
fine.
fake sympathy for Zubat. Nobody cares about Zubat. Nobody likes Zubat. Nobody feels bad for Zubat, okay? I don't believe you.
I will believe it.
Believe it. Okay, let me go ahead and move on to the Johto region. In the Johto region, they say, while flying, it constantly emits ultrasonic waves from its mouth to check its surroundings. Capable of flying safely in dark places, it emits ultrasonic cries to check for any obstacles. During the day, it gathers with others and hangs from ceilings of old buildings and caves.
I assume with its little tiny needle things.
With its little tiny needle legs, like I guess they're tiny, like have like little baby gripplers on the end, and they like attach onto things, or maybe they like. Maybe they like tie them like shoestrings around like I don't know, rock formations or something.
I don't want to think about that. Well, they probably just have like sticky things or something, you know?
You think sticky? I don't know about that. Like a gecko, I guess.
Yeah, sure. What's a gecko?
Oh, sorry. I'm of course I meant a trico.
Treco?
A
Trico?
Treco. A
Yeah.
Trico. Trico.
Yeah, tree.
Just a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, I had something in my throat. I coughed a
right.
little bit while I said Trico.
That's all right.
But yeah, probably like that. Okay. So yeah, we have ceilings of old buildings, caves where they live,
Pools, maybe?
perpetually
A pool or
dark,
two?
perpetually dark places is another place that we've seen that they live.
How about a meadow or an old plain?
I mean, maybe a plane plane that's like old and rusted
Sure, that's
out.
what I meant. Yeah, of course. Like an old plain or a meadow.
Well, not a meadow,
No meadow?
because
Okay.
there's nothing for them to hang off of there, so no meadow.
Right. It has to be shaded so they can stay in the dark.
Right, okay.
But I mean, how can they move forward if they're always living in the dark? You have to see the light to move. I don't care. Okay, let's move on to the next to the Hoenn region.
God.
I was trying to be inspirational, but that's really not my forte.
No, it's not.
It's
Professor?
not yours either, apparently.
I never said it was inspirational.
Professor, you encourage me every day just by being alive.
He tells you to shut up half the time. What are you even talking about?
Yeah, I'm really not encouraging you to shut up, which I'm trying to do.
It encourages me to think of better things to say.
Oh, what a
We
good
all wish
spin.
you'd do that, buddy.
Okay, let me read the Hoenn region Pokedex entries.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. Zubat remains quietly unmoving in a dark spot during the bright daylight hours. It does so because prolonged exposure to the sun causes its body to become slightly burned.
Ooh.
And yeah,
So it's got to hide or it's going to get burnt real bad.
Yeah, it has very sensitive skin, these Zubats.
Okay. Well, if you ever throw a Zubat out in battle against a fire-type Pokemon, you're an idiot. Fun fact.
Yeah, honestly, if you ever use a Zubat during the daytime, you're cruel. Like, Zubats should not be flying around in the daytime because, like, the sun can burn them.
You're not just
Maybe
cruel,
if-
you're tentacruel.
Maybe if you had some Zubat sunscreen, you would instead be Tentacool.
Oh,
A real Tentacool trainer. Okay. I guess it was funny when you did it, but not when I did it, I guess.
Hey, what can I say? I'm the class clown.
It's how it just was so funny. I couldn't.
You forgot to
comprehend it.
breathe, I understand.
He emitted a loud cry out of the frequency of a Zubat. It was so
Yeah,
funny.
an
That's right.
ultrasonic cry.
Yeah, you could hear it.
Okay, the next
I
one
love-
says... I'm sorry, what was that, Mr. Curtis? What do you love?
I don't. I mean, I love the idea of somebody rubbing
What?
sunscreen on their Zubat. Like
I mean, you would have to.
it looks like it just sounds like a really nice thing to do.
It's like-
a real
it's
good
like
bonding experience
You're in
before your
battle.
Zubat goes and gets squished.
You're
'Cause
in
it's
battle,
so
right?
worthless.
And like a Steelix or something just knocked out your Pokemon. So you put it back and you're like, all right, I choose you, go Zubat. And Zubat comes out and you're like, all right, come here real quick. And the Zubat flies up to you and you're like, all right, here's your little sunscreen. I'll put it on your belly. I'll put it on the top of your little head and on your ears. And it's like,
And then boom!
and then a
gets
Steelix tail out
knocked
of
out.
nowhere just crushes it.
Yeah, waste of sunscreen, too.
Yeah, it's a shame. But hey, they gotta get experience somehow. They'll never evolve otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
All right, the next one says Zubat avoids sunlight because exposure causes it to become unhealthy. And that's a pretty vague term, I guess. During the daytime, it stays in caves or under the eaves of old houses, sleeping while hanging upside down.
What the hell does that mean? The eaves of old houses.
So, like, you know how, like, when the roof kind of, like, overhangs? Is that an eve? Or is it just the roof in general?
Yeah.
It's somewhere along the roof, I think.
Okay.
But it has to be an old house. I guess where
But they're
nobody
the
lives.
underside. They're like the underside of the roof, where like if the roof comes down at an angle, then there's like a little bit of a gap in between the wall and the angle
yeah.
bit of the roof.
Gotcha.
That's the eave.
So you have like
Wow.
lived out in the country and have like a wraparound porch.
What were you saying, Professor?
Well, I was just gonna say, I'm very impressed with your architectural knowledge there, Mr. Curtis. Maybe you should be an
That's
architect
because he was
professor.
Googling it on his class laptop. I just saw it.
No. When my house got condemned and torn down by the Kanto authorities, I had to build a new one. So I just, got a recent refresher in architecture terminology.
How's that one doing? Have they found that one yet?
It so far it's okay. They haven't found the underground colony yet that's kind of compromised the new foundation. But so long as you don't put too much roof on the too much weight on the roof, then the house will be okay.
I think you would have learned by now, Mr. Curtis, not to encourage colony growth directly underneath your house.
He doesn't learn.
But I just need them close to me.
We're talking about Mr. Curtis's horrible spinner rack experiments for those students who are just joining us on this lesson, in case we're not being clear here. All right, we got some more from the Hoenn region, so let me read those. While living in pitch-black caverns, their eyes gradually grew shut and deprived them of vision. They use ultrasonic waves to detect obstacles. Yeah, so I guess they used to have eyes. They had eyes at some point.
Okay.
But then they, grew over. They became vestigial.
And then they regrew their eyes back when they turned into Golbat, I guess?
Well, I mean, that's an evolution. That's a different thing, all right? There's a reason why a Golbat needs eyes.
Oh, well, I guess
Which
you'll
we'll
have to
talk
tell me
about
another time.
Yeah, maybe come back next week and you'll find out why Golbats need eyes.
I might be there.
Well,
see.
you have to. You have to, Corbin, if you want a good grade. You've paid for this class.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Okay, the next one says it has no eyes. Instead, it relies on its ultrasonic cries for echolocation to flit about in the darkness. And the last one says it forms colonies in perpetually dark places and uses ultrasonic waves to identify and approach targets. Okay. I think one of those is a repeat, although they all sound like repeats because they're so very similar.
Pretty repetitive.
All right, moving on to the Sinnoh region. Even though it has no eyes, it can sense obstacles using ultrasonic waves it emits from its mouth.
Right.
Whoa. The next one says, disliking sunlight, it sleeps deep in forests and caves until sundown. All right, so it's also in forests. So we got forests,
caves,
eaves of old houses, old buildings in general,
planes.
No,
boats.
not planes. No.
Well, PLANE.
No,
like
I mean
said.
the Pokédexes haven't said that explicitly, so we don't know.
Underneath
Okay.
the Charizard's wing, like
It doesn't. Nope. Probably not. That there's a lot of motion going on there, and the Charizard is going to be awake during the day when Zubat's trying to sleep, so it just really wouldn't work out that well.
True. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, the last one from the Sinnoh region says, it checks its surroundings and location using reflections of the ultrasonic waves from its mouth.
Right. We already said that. It's just a new way of saying
So the waves come out of its mouth and then bounce off of a surface and go in through its ear. So a real out then in kind of scenario.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure you guys fully understand because the Pokédexes seem to think that this is the most important part of Zubat. Like this is the most important thing about Zubat. Not the fact that it can confuse
the only
enemies
thing about Zubat.
Not the fact that it can confuse enemies with its cry, not the fact that, it has a poisonous bite, which never talks about, not once in any of these entries. Just the fact that it screams, and that's how it knows where it is.
Everyone's just plagiarizing everybody.
A one track mind here.
Yeah, it's like the one professor was like, yo, can I copy your work? And then the other professor was like, yeah, but don't make it too obvious that it's the same thing or whatever. Change it slightly so it looks different.
Yeah. They all ended up copying each other. They didn't even try to hide it.
No, they really didn't. I mean, especially not in the Unova, which literally copies the things from Sinnoh and Johto, word for word. Same with Kalos, so we're not even going to read them. But Alola, of course, always flies to the tune of its own drum. So
Coming in hot.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and read those. It sleeps in caves during the day. It has no eyes, so to check its surroundings while flying, it emits ultrasonic waves. All right, so that's pretty cut and dry. Now, this next one's a little bit more interesting. It says, when exposed to sunlight, they suffer burns. Okay, we know that. But the next part says, the frequency of their ultrasonic waves can differ slightly from colony to colony.
So they can spot who is from which colony. That makes sense because there's so many of them. What if a colony joins up with another one and they run into each other like, oh, hey, how you doing? Going this way. Oh, seeing my relatives. Hi, how are you? And then what if one of their friends gets lost in one of the other colonies that they're meeting up with? And then how are they going to find that person? They have to differentiate based on their calls. You know what I mean?
So like a Zubat goes to the bad part of the cave, and it's like,
yeah.
Hey, where am I? And the Zubat's like in a different frequency. You came to the wrong part of town, kid. And then the Zubat's like, oh,
do you think Zubats discriminate based on their calls? Do you think there's like really like prejudiced Zubats? It's like, oh, this Zubat sounds like this. He's got this frequency. He's not part of our clan.
I mean, I don't know. All I know is what's in the Pokedexes, and so I can't really tell you.
It's possible.
All right, the next entry here says, it has no eyeballs, so it can't see. Great. Thanks, Alola.
Thanks.
It checks its surrounding via the ultrasonic waves it emits from its mouth. And the last one says their skin is so thin that they'll be burned if sunlight hits them. So that's why they get burned. It's because their skin is thin. All right. Mm-hmm. When it gets cold out, they gather together to warm one another's bodies.
You know what they should do? They should.
Oh, they cuddle.
Zubats need to sandwich themselves in between a couple Wigglytuffs. Those are some soft little bean babies.
Oof. Now that's the kind of fur I'd kill for.
Yeah, exactly.
Little is, I would not describe a Wigglytuff as little.
I mean, honestly, a Wigglytuff can be any size you want it to be. It wants itself to be.
Not too small though. Can't get smaller.
Are we sure about that? I mean, it says it can inflate its size, but its body is also very rubbery.
We had the class last week. You tell me, Professor.
Hey, Mr. Curtis, maybe I have another assignment for you.
Oh, okay. How tiny can I compact to Wigglytuff?
Oh, yeah. No, don't ask him to do that. Don't ask him to do that.
Just put it in a series of smaller and smaller boxes.
Don't do that.
That's
Don't
right.
do that. No, don't do that. Don't make that.
Or I could use something really cold, like dry ice or something, to try and if I put it in a box with dry ice, could help it shrink down to a smaller size.
It's gonna because the pressure of the air in its body will decrease, and therefore that decreases. I could see that. Don't,
Mr. Curtis. No.
I mean, it is the balloon Pokemon. You see what happens when a balloon gets cold, right?
Right.
It gets all wrinkly and like small and shit.
That's right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool.
Retracts in on itself.
But I don't think we need to do that with a poor Wigglytuff. Okay. We don't need an inverted.
It's on my checklist, Professor.
We don't need a concave Wigglytuff. Okay.
You're right. We shouldn't do that, Corbin. But unfortunately, we have to.
We don't. We really don't.
So we are gonna do it for science. Is the thing.
No, Mr. Curtis is not science.
Go ahead and report on that next lesson there, Mr. Curtis, on what your findings are.
Yes, sir.
How small a Wigglytuff can get. Okay. This last Pokédex entry finishes when it gets cold. Oh wait, no, I already said that. Okay, moving on to the Galar region. They say here that it emits ultrasonic waves from its mouth to check its surroundings. Even in tight caves, Zubat flies around with skill. And the last one says Zubat live in caves, down where the sun's light won't reach. In the morning, they gather together to keep each other warm as they sleep.
Aww.
No
Tufts, though. No Tufts to keep them warm, because Tufts don't live in caves.
Yeah, no Wigglytuffs. Or Jigglypuffs. Or
Jigglypuffs.
Maybe they can get some deflated Clefairies to kind of...
No, that's not a thing. That was just a dumb theory that you had. Clefairies cannot deflate.
I'm telling you, they're just...
It is true.
They're hollow.
Their body... You don't know. I mean, you could find out.
You don't know.
That's right.
We're not doing another test.
That could be after I finish with the Wigglytuff. I can work on that.
Yeah, after you crack Snuggles, finish with the Wigglytuff.
Please don't give him any more scientific abominations to work with, please.
Whoa! Are you saying Pokemon are scientific abominations?
No, but he makes them scientific abominations.
He does kind of do that, doesn't he? All right, that does it for the regional Pokedex entries. We have one unique Pokedex entry that comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. It says here that Zubat, blind Pokemon with supersonic powers.
Rude.
Zubat live in caves and hate to fly outside in the daylight. I like how it just kind of says blind Pokemon.
Haha, you blind Pokemon. It just sounds rude the way it's worded.
It doesn't say. He doesn't say it is a blind Pokemon or Zubat is a blind Pokemon. It's just like Zubat, blind Pokemon.
We've already established that Ash is not the smartest, so you know.
He didn't write these. He didn't write them.
It's his Pokedex entry. He wrote it, right?
No, the Pokedex talks to him. Like it has some kind of. It's like it has a brain of its own.
Oh my god. What shroomish are you smoking, bro?
I've seen it happen, man. It is freaky how he gets it to work. I don't know how. I don't know.
Yeah. Puff, puff, pass. Am I right?
I don't know what magic he put in there to get it to, like, have its own thoughts.
I don't know. It's
It's like an early Rotom dex.
Whoa. Please, students, raise your hand and I will call on you.
My hand's up.
Yeah, Mr. Curtis.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was just saying it's almost like a early Rotom dex.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if there wasn't a Pokemon in there controlling it.
Whoa, no. Are we... hands up.
Okay, moving on to
I'm just going to say it. Are you
Corbin.
mean to tell me that Pokedexes are AI units?
Some of them are. I mean, the Rotom ones are, but it's hard to tell if the Rotom Pokedexes are, coming up with their own stuff and reading that, or if they have, pre-written things that they read off whenever they notice a Pokemon that matches that entry.
Right.
I don't know. Listen, I didn't invent the Pokedexes. I just read them.
Yeah, that's all you do. Easy paycheck, huh?
Well, I mean, it might be an easy paycheck, but it's not a big one. Oh, I'm struggling.
Professor, why didn't you tell me? I could get a second job or a third job to help you out.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be your fourth job, right?
Because, what's your job?
Well, he's a teaching assistant. He
doesn't get paid for that. You've said 1,000 times that he doesn't get paid.
I get paid in knowledge and experience.
And knowledge is, let's be honest here, more
right.
important than money.
Right, and credit towards my own senior Poke researcher degree.
Yeah, who's gonna be in your class, Curtis? Jeez.
I'm gonna research. I may not teach. You don't know.
I mean, I don't want to know. Okay, the last thing you need to do is research, and let alone teach people how to do your abomination researches. Okay?
Listen, I'm willing to do the experiments and nobody else is.
I don't know how
Don't be afraid of his genius, Corbin. Don't be afraid.
It's not genius. You're not supposed to
You're right. It's not genius. It's progress. It's pure progress.
It's not.
Oh, thank you,
You're
Professor.
afraid of it.
That's what I really needed.
God.
All right. Everybody settle down. All right.
Settled.
We're done reading the Pokedex entries. But I have, it's been a little while, but I have a nice uncredited, unsourced article here.
Let's fact check it.
Yeah, let's all together. I'm going to read it out, and we're going to fact check it. So let's give it a shot. Zubat is a blue bat Pokemon.
That sounds right.
So far, so good.
Yep.
Full marks.
Sweet.
While it lacks eyes, it has pointed ears with purple insides and a mouth with 2 sharp teeth on each jaw.
Don't know about that. Insides of the ear are a little bit more fuchsia, but continue.
Well, I mean, they're 2 different shades of purple, so it's whatever.
Yeah, still wrong.
So this is interesting. All right, now tell me if this is true or not. A male will have larger fangs than a female.
Oh, I don't know.
I did not know that.
Could be potentially true. I mean, it didn't say anything about that in the Pokedex, but
I didn't notice.
It goes on to say it has purple wing membranes supported by 2 elongated fingers. So those are fingers, I guess.
What?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, those are like its hands with its little fingers. Okay, yeah, sure, why not?
Sure.
And 2 long, thin tails.
Tails, not feet.
Yeah, so it's claiming that those are 2 tails.
Okay, so does it hang off its tails, I guess? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it has tiny little feet that we can't see. Maybe it's like under its fur.
I feel like one of these entries would just say that, but, who knows?
I mean, one would hope, but hey, at least now we know that it uses ultrasonic waves to locate where it is.
Yeah, we've only heard that 30 times.
30 bajillion times. All right, this article goes on to say, Zubat lives in abundance in caves. It has evolved to have neither eyes nor nostrils, but instead navigates through dark environments and tight caves with echolocation.
Right.
It will leave its abode at night with a mass of other Zubat in order to seek prey. During the daytime, Zubat sleeps hanging upside down in caves, forests, or under the eaves of old buildings, avoiding sunlight at all cost. Zubat also gather together in groups during the morning in order to stay warm while they sleep.
Correct.
Daylight, yes, correct, so far good.
Yes.
Daylight causes Zubat to become unhealthy, and prolonged exposure can even burn its skin. Like, I wish they would be a little bit more specific when they say unhealthy. Like, it gives it a cough, it gets like a headache, a migraine, or something like that.
Healthy, I mean, it might get some sort of skin cancer or something, you know?
I guess, but it says prolonged exposure can burn its skin. But
Well, yeah, that's how it is with me and you. If you and I sit outside in the sun too long, we're going to get skin cancer. It's the same thing. I think they're just extra prone to it.
Okay, but immediate exposure to sun makes them become unhealthy, like right away.
Maybe they get sunstroke.
Maybe.
I guess. Maybe they, I don't know, maybe they get a headache, or I don't know. I just wish it was a little bit more descriptive. However, captured and trained Zubats have been recorded as being much more tenacious in the daytime, even when directly exposed to sunbeams. I'm sorry, no matter how much you train a Zubat, it's not going to change the thickness of its skin. It's still going to be very susceptible to sunlight. So never use your Zubat during the daytime.
Yeah, I don't know about that entry.
After a couple weeks in this class, my skin has become pretty thick.
Yes, very excellent metaphorical joke there, Mr. Curtis. Very good.
Thank you, Professor. That's what I really strive for, is to make you happy.
We'll keep striving, bud.
I was going to say, try a little bit harder. This article finishes off by saying, in colder conditions, Zubat gathers with others of its kind for warmth.
Nice.
All right. So that's all the information that we have on Zubat.
That's it?
I think it's time to test how much you've learned, how much you've gathered.
We're not taking a test, are we?
No. But we're taking a pop quiz.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Which is almost as fun as a test. Speaking of which, actually, I need to give you guys more tests.
No, I don't think you
feel like
that's okay.
I feel like I've been leaning on this pop quiz crutch for far too long. I need to come up with an actual test for you.
Nah, we're okay with quizzes, I think.
I'll think about it.
I would love more chance to just get more feedback from you, Professor.
Yeah, it's a place where you can really prove yourself.
That's right.
Maybe I can make it some kind of competition thing between you two. I don't know. I'll think about it.
God.
Okay, so go ahead, put away your Pokedexes, get out your Rotom laptops, a pen and a pencil, a calculator. Maybe bring out your anatomically correct Zubat model so you can use that for reference if you need to.
I have a protractor.
Well, unfortunately, a protractor will not help you. In fact, a protractor is cheating on this one, so you are gonna have to put those away.
I'm sorry, I put my protractor away.
Yeah, put your protactor.
I put my
your
protractor away.
All right, is everybody ready?
Yes.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Question number 1: of the 5 senses, which do we know Zubat doesn't have? All right, both of the answers are in. Let's see here. Corbin responded with, Zubat does not have the ability to see or smell.
That's right.
And, well, I'll tell you whether or not it's right. All right, so sit back down.
All right. I'm sitting.
Okay. And Mr. Curtis responded with, we know that Zubat cannot see. That's why they need ultrasonic cries to fly safely. All right, so interestingly enough, the answer was smell and sight. So,
Mr. Curtis.
Unfortunately, you did.
No, the way you worded that question, I thought you were looking for one answer.
Nope.
I said,
sorry, I misunderstood you.
Of the 5 senses, which do we know it doesn't have? So,
which do we know? I mean, I don't know.
Sight and smell. Mr. Curtis, it's time to start paying attention, young man.
Mr. Curtis, I don't know what to tell you. Corbin understood the question.
I know.
Of the 5, which do we know they... Gosh, I don't know what I was thinking. All right.
Also, it potentially doesn't have taste. I mean, that's not any of the Pokedex.
I thought about putting that on there, but that's, I mean, it's not.
If you look at it, it doesn't have a tongue. It doesn't
Right.
have a tongue. So,
yeah, it does have a ton, but like
No, tongue.
excuse me, it has a ton. No, I meant a ton of love. But it's got a tongue,
okay.
but taste involves smell. So I mean, does it really
Does
have
it?
taste?
Whoa. Does it have a tongue though, Corbin? Take a good look at it.
I don't know. I didn't look at the Zubat
okay.
to see its tongue.
Its mouth is really kind of just like a gaping black hole.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of like Curtis's brain because he got that question wrong. Aha!
all right, let's not make fun of people for getting questions wrong.
All right.
Corbin.
Sorry.
All right, because karma may swing back around and bite you directly on the buttocks. All
Which
right?
Pokemon is that?
Well, karma. That's not a Pokemon. That's
okay.
a universal truth that exists in all of us. All right. The next question here, question number 2, if you will. What
Wait,
is?
Professor. Wait,
What?
wait.
Mhm,
I don't even get half credit for that one?
No, you got half credit.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean, you got it wrong. You didn't
did
get
get
it
it
fully
wrong.
right.
I will write a 3-page essay before
Please.
the next
Oh,
class.
Please
Save
do
it.
not.
You might have to write more if you get more wrong. We'll see.
Just to like flesh out my answer because I failed this one.
All right, question number 2. Now I put a number on this one, so it's a little bit more clear.
Okay.
Cool.
What is one consequence of a Zubat having very thin skin? Now there's multiple answers here. If you want extra credit, go ahead and put 2 or 3. But I just need 1. All right?
Mhm.
Now, and they all have to be correct. So if you give me an answer that's wrong, you will get like if you say like one that's right, but you try to go for that extra credit and you put one that's wrong, then you get the full question wrong. So be careful with your answers here.
So what? Why is it bad that it has the skin that it does?
It just what is one consequence of Zubat having very thin skin? It's not necessarily bad. It's just because it has thin skin, it also blanks. All right, both of the answers are in. The question was, of course, I said it multiple times before, but whatever, I'll say it again. What is one consequence of Zubat having very thin skin? Corbin responded with, it gets sunburnt very easily, and that was just one answer. He didn't go for the extra credit there.
Nah,
he just said
I
one.
didn't feel like it.
Okay. Curtis responded with, Zubat's thin skin causes it to sunburn when it is exposed to sunlight. He went on to say, taking a risk here,
Ooh.
it also makes it very susceptible to cold, which causes them to gather in groups to stay warm.
Oh.
Yes, that is another answer.
Nice.
It gets cold easily, so you get extra credit there, Mr. Curtis.
Nice.
I had to redeem myself.
Good job.
myself.
I couldn't
in your
remember
eyes.
the extra reason why, so I just went with one.
I will also say that another possible answer here is that it has no eyes. That is technically a consequence of it having thin skin. If you think about it.
That's tricky. Okay.
I don't think I would have gotten that, but
Nope.
Professor, I'm gonna write more notes down. This is perfect.
Great. I'm glad you're really this class is giving you everything you want, Mr. Curtis. I'm happy. I'm happy that I can do that for you.
Everything and more.
Please stop laughing. That's really creepy.
I'm glad that it's fully satisfying you.
I hate this. I want to leave. I'm about to call my mom. Please stop.
Sit, Corbin. Corbin, sit down. We still have 2 questions left.
I'm sitting.
Okay. Question number... No, I'm pretty sure you stood up there. I heard the chair.
Well,
I definitely heard it when you got up.
I couldn't help myself.
Right. Sit back down. I want to hear that chair. I want to hear that chair screech, Corbin.
Yeah, slowly.
I'm
Slowly.
sitting down. I've been sat.
No, okay, all right, fine. Question number 3. How can Zubat determine if a fellow Zubat is from a different colony? Huh. Okay, all right, all of the answers are in, so let me go ahead and read Corbin's first. It says that the way that a Zubat can tell if a fellow Zubat is from a different colony is based on its specific cry/echolocation noises. Mr. Curtis responded with, Zubat can use the frequency of their ultrasonic waves to determine if they are in the right colony because the frequency of their ultrasonic waves differ from colony to colony. That is exactly correct. You see, the key word that I was looking there was frequency.
Well,
so
it was applied.
I'm a little bit hesitant to give it to Corbin here.
Why don't you give me 99% of it?
You know what? I'm gonna give you the answer. I think
Right.
that's correct enough.
That's fair. That's fair.
To be fully correct.
I think you made a wise choice.
Well, it doesn't matter what you think.
Okay.
All right, this last question is a fill in the blank question. I know they're Mr. Curtis's favorite.
Thank you, Professor. I'm so excited.
So,
Are you okay?
wow, he really is excited. All right. Question number 4 is Zubats are blank, meaning they only sleep during the blank.
Zubats are blank. They only sleep during the blank.
Zubats are blank, meaning they only sleep during the blank. This one is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. Corbin, respond. I'm gonna like read the full sentence again and like input your answers. Of course,
You can do that.
You
can do that.
All right. Corbin's answer is Zubats are nocturnal, meaning they only sleep during the day. And then Mr. Curtis responded with, again, I'm going to fill in the blank, so I'm going to have him fill in the blank. Zubats are nocturnal. Oh, wait, no, wait. No, he underlined his answers. I didn't even know you could do that on this platform.
Wow.
Yeah, so no, he wrote it all out. He says, Zubats are nocturnal, which means they only sleep during the day.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sorry,
excellent. Great job there, Mr. Curtis.
I had to. Listen. I was working for you, Professor.
I love
to
the
push the
formatting.
boundaries.
Yeah. So yes, you guys are both correct. Zubats are in fact nocturnal, meaning that they sleep during the day. So full marks there.
Nice.
And that does it for today's quiz. You guys did end up both getting 100s. Mr. Curtis was able to save his previous failure.
Nice. Good work, Mr. Curtis.
With getting the bonus. He could have gotten another bonus point, but he only went for 2 instead of 3. But that's okay. Anyways, that does it for today's lesson on Zubat. Does anybody know who we're going to be talking about next time?
Silverbat. No, that's not a Pokemon. Golbat.
Aquarium bat.
What? Aquarium bat.
Instead of zoo.
Aquarium bat.
Oh.
Aquarium bat. Nope.
Gotcha.
You're wrong. It's not aquarium bat. It's not silver bat. It's
Gold
also not
bat.
Gold.
It's gold bat.
It is not gold bat. In fact, very close though. It's Gol bat.
Goal.
Golbat. No, Golbat.
Okay.
Golbat. Yes. So yeah, that will be next time. If you students at home have any questions for me, Professor Jacob, feel free to Gmail me at my Gengar mail, which is of course wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gengar mail, that's fine. You can contact me on Twitter, the Bird Pokemon themed social networking site, at wwopokemon there as well. But yeah, that does it for today's lesson. So
wait, what about the ratings on Flapple? They have to rate us.
They know how to go to Flapple Podcast and give us a 5-star rating. I don't need to remind them that.
I think you should. I heard a rumor that the principal says if we don't get enough ratings in the next few weeks, he's going to shut the class down.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll talk to the
No,
principal
please,
about that.
Mr. Curtis, do not know anybody but you.
That's a mistake.
Anybody
Don't
but
worry.
you. All right. Anyways, that does it for today's lesson. So until next time, class is dismissed. Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.